In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a yarn over. And a yarn over makes a hole in your work. These are some yarn overs already done in this little piece. And a yarn over is almost always paired with a decrease because a yarn over is an increase. So we are going to knit along, and the instructions might say something like knit 3, yarn over, knit 2 together. So we've knit 3. To make a yarn over, we're going to bring the working yarn between the 2 needles to the front of the work. And then we're going to knit the next stitch, which brings the yarn back over the needle, like so. But our instructions said knit 3, yarn over, knit 2 together. So the yarn over and the knit 2 together happen at the same time. The working yarn has come through and is now in front. And then the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and knit 2 together. And the yarn over happens as we're doing that. So now you've made this extra little half stitch yarn over there that doesn't really connect on the bottom. It's just literally the yarn over the needle. And we're going to do it again. We're going to go knit 3, yarn over, which for the moment just means bring it to the front, knit 2 together, and that makes the yarn actually do the going over, and come to the end. And then we're going to turn the work and we're going to purl back so we'll be able to see a little better what we did. And so you can see when you come to the yarn over, it doesn't look like a real stitch because it's not a real stitch. It just brought the yarn over. We're going to make it a stitch by purling through it now. And you'll be able to tell when we come to the next one. Because this one looks like a stitch. It's got the loop. And then all of a sudden you come to this wonky thing. That's the yarn over. Purl it as if it were a real stitch. And then when we turn it over to go back, you'll see we have a hole, and then the stitches to the left slant a little bit because you decrease to make up for it. And there are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 stitches just the way we started. So that would be your basic yarn over. If you're doing the Bartholomew's Cowl kit, the yarn overs happen in a couple of funny ways. I'm partway through the cowl here, and I am just finishing row 1 of the 2 pattern repeat. And I'm doing it here because this yellow marker is my beginning of round. So I'm going to do the last few stitches of round 1 and then show you how to do round 2. Because the yarn over is different in each one. So the repeat for the rib will read purl 2, yarn forward, knit 2 together, and then knit 1. And that's what we do over and over again for row 1. So we purl 2, so that's purl, purl, and now it just says yarn forward, knit 2 together. Because the yarn is already forward, so just leave it there. And it also says knit 2 together TBL, through back loop. So you're going to insert your needle through the 2 stitches, just right through the backs of them. And then with the yarn in front, reach over and knit those 2 together. So that's made you've put 2 together to decrease, and you've made a yarn over to increase. And then knit 1, and that's the end of the repeat, so we're going to do it one more time. Purl, purl, yarn forward, which it already is. It's just important, so you have to say it and make it clear. And then knit 2 together, which makes a yarn over and decreases a stitch. And then knit that last stitch. So that is row 1. For row 2, the pattern will say purl 2, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over. The yarn over is at the end, between the where the repeat ends and begins. So we're going to purl and purl, and then knit 1. This was the yarn over below, so it's the wonky stitch. But just go ahead and knit it. Knit 2 together, a little snug. Knit 2 together, and now we have to make a yarn over between this and the next purl. If we were to just bring the yarn to the front, it would not make a yarn over because you have to do that to purl anyway. So you have to do one more loop around. So I'll show you that again. So in order to make this yarn over happen, you have to come to the front, over the top of that needle, and around to the front again. And then purl 2, and that puts a yarn over in between. So purl 2, knit 1, which was a yarn over on the last row, knit 2 together, whoop, I got a little tight and missed a piece of my yarn there, so I'm going to make sure I don't split the stitch. Knit 2 together through the back loop, and then to make the yarn over, come through to the front, over the top, and around again, and then purl again. And that is how you make, you can see each hole shows you where a yarn over is. Get where you can see me. And then you can see this section where the purls are is a flat purl section, and this middle fern here is where you decrease on either side so that you get a hole and the fern going up and down. And that's how you do the yarn overs in Bartholomew's Cowl.